Hello, love. It's official. Here we are, day one. Welcome to the Mentor Masterclass Holiday Challenge. I'm Jeannine Yoder, the creator of Mentor Masterclass, and I am so deeply honored that you've made the decision to join us. I'm also really excited for you because today, right now, in this audio, you're going to learn the process I discovered was the absolute most important thing that I did for myself and my business, and what I've taught thousands of women around the world for the past 10 years in order to get paying clients during my first week pursuing my soul calling as a life coach, how I grew my business quickly, how I was able to earn a six-figure income in just 14 months of starting a brand new career. In fact, this process is so effective, soulful, and deeply grounding that I made it the cornerstone of my signature program, Mentor Masterclass. It's also one of the big reasons why women in my program right now are getting paying clients quickly. They're earning an income doing something they love, finally, that's work aligned with their unique life purpose. And they're spending less and less time in their day jobs so they can spend more time building and running their coaching businesses. In fact, so many of my women are able to quit careers that were stressing them out and unfulfilling in order to pursue their calling. And we're going to accomplish three things in this podcast today. First, we're going to do a little housekeeping. I'm going to tell you how the challenge works and what you can expect every day. After that, we're going to teach into teaching you the soulful process that's had such a profound impact on myself and the women inside my program, Mentor Masterclass. And of course, you're going to get your very first challenge and start playing full out with me today as we gear up to start hearing from the other celebrity mentors starting tomorrow. And remember, all of this is important because we are doing this to feel less stress during the holiday, more connected, more joy, and these rituals are really what it's all about. And they connect to the holiday season and this playful practice we're going to do for the next 14 days. But more importantly, they connect to our deeper calling in life and how we live our lives and pursue our freedom. Before we jump in, I also want to say congratulations and welcome, sister. Being here means that you're taking an important step to open yourself up to renewal and new possibilities. Because the next couple weeks give you the chance to feel your way into what it would mean if you decided to pursue your calling, if you stepped into your greater purpose. And maybe that might even be to become a coach or take your coaching skills to a new level of mastery, whether you do it as a business or not. In fact, you can think of the next few weeks as a chance to experience what it feels like to step into the role of a feminine thought leader, sovereign being, and coach. To be the sovereign queen of your life and maybe even a business of your own, or to take that business you already have up 10 notches to your exponential growth potential, which also means stepping into your role as a mentor and a true thought leader. Kind of like trying on new clothes over the next couple weeks to see if they feel good to you. And even more important, what I really want to support you in embodying, a style that reflects who you are in your coaching and in your leadership on a soul level. In the process, you'll be surrounding yourself with other inspiring coaches and mentors, the very same coaches and mentors who teach inside my signature program, Mentor Masterclass. And you'll be able to learn from them and use some of the same rituals that they use to thrive as coaches, and of course, have some holiday fun and celebration along the way. Okay, there's one more thing I'll add here just real quick. I know there's also a chance you may already be a coach, and you're here to take an important step toward growing your coaching practice. I definitely want to congratulate you and share this moment with you, because when we surround ourselves with other people who are doing what we want to do, then we strengthen our commitment to doing it as well, and your belief system to really get that it's possible and probable that you can too. We also add an energy and intention to becoming successful on all levels. So wrap yourself up in a little blanket of love and celebrate being here and connecting with the inspiring mentors that you're going to be meeting over the next couple weeks. Yay! I am so excited about this. All right. Let's go through a few really quick housekeeping things so you can playful out and get the most out of the challenge and maybe even win some of the awesome prizes. I love giving away prizes. It's my love language. You're going to love what we're giving away this year. You might even earn a full ride scholarship to Mentor Masterclass, my signature program. Here's how the challenge works. Every day for the next 14 days, you're going to get an email to watch a new mentor video. And in every single one of those videos, you're going to learn yet another way to use the core process that we're going to talk about in just a minute. Sorry, I said video, audio. So every day for the next couple weeks, you're going to get an audio podcast. And in every single one of those audios, you're going to learn another way to use the core process that we're going to talk about in just a minute. And at the end of every podcast, the guest mentor gives you a simple activity to do that day. That's your challenge for the day. But more important than that, like I said, it's a way to practice the core technique that can make such a huge soulful difference in your life. And that's what we're going to practice together for the next 14 days. Now, here's an important side note I want you to know, and I'm actually really, really excited about this. Part of why I set up the challenge for 2 whole weeks is because that's a long enough time for this practice to start to become a habit. And as a coach, I know how important it is to be consistent and to hold the space for things that we want. So that's really what the challenge and the sisterhood group is all about. That's what playing full out on Instagram and connecting in our private Facebook group is here for. Creating the space and the support and the consistency of daily rituals that help you thrive and filling your social media feed with these celebrations for the next 2 weeks and friendships that you'll carry on for a lifetime. I want you to know it's a really deep way for you to start to embody what it means for you in your life to become a coach and masterful leader. Then, after our 14 days together is over, we're going to have a chance to meet up in person on a live group call. And on the call, we're going to wrap up the challenge with another new coaching lesson that I need you to know about to start the new year. Plus, you're also going to learn how to take what you'll be practicing in the challenge and use it in a more embodied way every day and every week to start and grow your coaching business long after this challenge is done. So let's talk about the prizes and the scholarship real quick. Once you finish your challenge for the day, you'll have a chance to show us what you did by sharing a picture or verbal update on Instagram or in our private Facebook group. Every time you use the hashtag #HolidayChallengePodcast, we'll add your name to the drawing for prizes. And we'll be tracking all your shares on Instagram. So the more you play, the more chances you have to win. And along with the audio podcast every day, you're going to find one simple question that gives you a chance to reflect on what you're learning that day. These daily questions are a little like virtual mentoring and extra support from me to deepen into soul renewal and what I know you're capable of, even if you don't know it yet. And if you begin to answer these questions and play along with me, you will. Because they're all designed to help you discover the best way to use that day's new concept in your life and not just go in one ear and out the other. You can think of these questions like stepping stones that lead to new possibilities. And these questions are actually the scholarship workbook. If you're interested in earning the full scholarship to Mentor Masterclass, here's how that works. To be considered for the full scholarship, answer each question to complete the workbook and just send us a copy of how all your questions answered and complete at the end of the challenge. We're going to choose one scholarship winner and announce her name, maybe your name, during our live celebration call at the end of the challenge. All right, let's take a deep breath and shift our energy now. The moment you've been waiting for. What is this core process I've been talking about so much? Have you already guessed? You probably might know this, or you've heard it. It's become trendy, it's popular, but I'm not talking about these surface level trends. I think it's very simple, but it's also very profound. And I know it's something that can be counterintuitive when you're built for helping other people. The answer is this: it's deep, loving, wise self-care. It's taking care of yourself first before you do anything else. So I want you to just let that sink in for a minute, because you may feel like, duh, come on, that's it, I get it, I knew that. But do you really? Self-care and putting yourself first. I know it might seem oversimplified. You might even laugh at it, but it's not. It's actually extremely profound and soulful, because it's about really nurturing yourself first to amplify your own personal power, and then embodying that power every day based on how you treat and deeply know yourself and your path. And that's huge. So let me tell you a story of exactly how I used this self-care process to start and grow my coaching business so quickly. Firstly, when you're starting a business, you need training and you need expert level support if you don't have that experience already. When you're starting something new, you have to go through this stage of learning. And you also really have to know how to feel worthy within yourself when you're starting a business, because it's about asking for money, doing something in exchange. And so the biggest, most first important way that I had to learn self-care was actually by changing my relationship with receiving support. I used to wear being the woman who had all the answers, who could give good advice to my friends, who knew how to be there for people, like a badge of honor. It became such a badge of honor that it was like my identity. And I found that I didn't have a ton of friends or people in my family who I felt could really support me. And in fact, I chose a lot of friends and gave a lot of energy to people who weren't able to give back. And I also prided myself on being independent and doing things myself. But when I was first interested in becoming a coach, I was on unemployment at the time, after going through a sexual harassment lawsuit with my work and getting fired because of it, and going through a lawsuit. And I did not have the money to join a program to become a life coach. And it was something I felt in my heart and my soul for the first time, that I was really tuning into my soul purpose. At the time, I was a Broadway performer. I had success as a performer, but that career as an actress is so unstable and up and down. When I found coaching, I knew that this was what I was meant to do, but I didn't have the money for the training. My first step was feeling worthy of receiving support and actually allowing my boyfriend at the time, who's now my husband, to help me pay for the training, to actually ask for support and to see that as a good, empowered thing, to not judge myself or shame myself, but instead to really ask for what I needed and receive it with honor and strength and gratitude while feeling sovereign. And that was really my first moment of taking better care of myself and putting myself first. It was me stepping into an energy of belief in myself by honoring my needs and allowing them to be supported, not just by myself, but by other people around me. And it changed my relationship with my boyfriend. It made me realize he was meant to be my husband. And it was actually soon after that we got engaged. So the first step to me starting my career had to do with letting myself believe that I too could receive support, deserved support, and that it was a sovereign, noble thing to do. The second thing was when I actually started my coaching business, and I was having to make cold calls and tell people that I was coaching and invite them into discovery calls with me to experience my coaching. And then at the end of those calls, what my teacher taught us to do was to sell the packages. And I always had such anxiety and fear around that. But during that time, I was able to shift from anxiety and fear and not feeling like I could ask for money doing work that I loved into powerfully shifting those calls by doing a few things. One, sleeping, taking really good care of myself and getting the right amount of sleep so I had energy for those calls during the day. Two, prioritizing my workouts and eating healthy, which I was learning everything about motivation, healthy eating, these techniques in my life coach training program at the time. And then a really cool feminine technique I learned from a thought leader around dancing before getting on the phone. Dancing your face off, which is what I would do. I would dance my face off to loud music in order to get out of my head and to get onto the call. And when I would get onto that call, it was either to tell people about my work and see if they wanted to experience a free session, or I would pause before that moment after leading a free session, showing people how powerful my coaching skills were, and then ask them if they wanted to invest in working with me and make the investment. And dancing would help me get out of my head and just get excited about doing it. So that was one of the rituals that I used. And finally, the biggest thing that I did that helped me to keep growing and to step into bigger roles over the last few years. I started off as a one-on-one coach, was featured on the New York Times, and then I led a group coaching program that trained other women to be coaches. And for the last 8 years, I've been leading masterminds, retreats, and high-level training for women. I've taken my business from making a few $1,000s a month to making 6 figures a year to making 6-figure months. And I'll tell you, the biggest and most important way that I did that was by myself investing in masterminds, luxury retreats experiences, investing in a team as my business grew. It started with a VA. Now I have 4 women on my team. And then also a team from my home as I became a mom, not to just 1, but now 2 girls. And having someone to help me in my home and really taking the time to deserve and find the perfect right person that I love to be my care partner for my children so that I can work, which is not that much. I've been able to pare down my business, even though it's a multi-6-figure business, to 3 days a week, 21 hours on average, because of the investment that I have in a mastermind that helps me get clear about decisions, luxury retreats that help me rejuvenate my energy, a team that helps run my business because I know how valuable my time is and how much I'm worth, and a team that helps run my home, a house cleaner, and people to help take care of my children with me. Not because I'm snooty and rich, but because I did these things before I had the money. Before the money came in, these are the things I did to become a woman who could have a successful family life where my family and personal desires come first and my business comes second, and still making great money that allows me to be exponentially and abundantly financial free. Now, all 3 of these things, what do they have in common? Self-care. I believe that every single one of us was born with the divine right to open our heart and recognize our own power and potential and our calling. And that includes you, sister love. I know that it's your right too. And that's what the challenge is really all about. As sisters, for the next 14 days, we're going to be sharing the gift of self-care and celebrating together as we step into our power and as we recognize the different rituals and practices. And some will resonate with you and some won't. That's the whole point. It's an amazing blessing to experience finding what resonates with you, what mentors and what processes and what techniques help you get uniquely to your next level. Because I'm not trying to teach you my method. I have some methods that I know after years of experience work for women across the board. But mostly my interest is in intimately getting to know you and what process you need. And to do that, I want to introduce you to many different women who've been successful, knowing that one of them will resonate with you. And over the next couple of weeks, you're going to find a path through those places where you've been feeling resistance and stuck. Because the more we step into our power and make it a daily ritual, the more we step into the rich, fulfilling lives that we are meant to live uniquely. And it's my deep honor to help you along the way. So, sister love, let me give you your first challenge for the day, and then we'll say goodbye. We'll meet on social media and see how this first challenge goes. My challenge has 2 simple parts. I want you to pull out a piece of paper and write 2 things on the top of it: natural gifts and talents, and training, teaching, and education. On the left side, natural gifts and talents, I just want you to make a list of all of the things you know about yourself to be a unique gift or a talent. And I mean everything. One of the things I wrote on this side of the page is that I won a pizza eating contest because I can eat quicker, faster, and more than any woman you know, and I won a pizza eating contest. I consider that a natural gift and talent. I'm also a great singer and a dancer, naturally good at listening, so I want you to think about those things for yourself. What are just those gifts and talents across the board? Make a list of them. On the right side, I want you to think of all the training you've had, the teaching that you've had, the education that you've uniquely had that have become your qualifications over time. Then I want you to look at each side of those, and I want to teach you how to hold space for sisterhood in your life. We are so used to, as women, numbing our light, or not shining brightly, or focusing on the negative when we get together with our friends. I want to teach you how to hold space for women to be in their power and to invite women in your life into their power. And I want you to choose to be in your power and see it as a beautiful thing, a self-care thing, an honoring thing for both you and the woman listening, to celebrate what makes you you. One natural gift and talent and one training that you've had that you want to brag about and share out loud. This is something that I heard about called sister bragging from Mama Gina. And we do this a lot in my signature program, Mentor Masterclass. We hold space and we ask women to truly take time to celebrate out loud, and for us to hold space without comparing ourselves. Instead of comparing, we hold a space for all the women declaring to say what it is, and we celebrate the shit out of them. By doing this, we really help remember that there are good, powerful things. And I want to start this challenge off reminding you of your natural gifts and talents, of your training, because as you start to look at these, you're going to start to recognize that they form a unique combination. They are an access and an insight to your unique calling in the world. And I want to see if you can start to piece together, are you already living that calling, or is it time to actually shift your career into pursuing more of a calling that honors your natural gifts and talents and the training that you've been guided to and given in your life? So write those down, pick one from each column, and you're going to celebrate it by using the hashtag #HolidayChallengePodcast and tagging me on Instagram. I want you to brag and celebrate. And then, as part of the challenge, I want you to look at that hashtag on Instagram and go comment and celebrate all of the other women. You can also do this in our private Facebook group. This is a really great place to celebrate and share and notice what everyone's celebrating. So do it on Instagram and also pop into our private Facebook group so that we can see how it feels to hold space in sisterhood. One of my natural gifts and talents actually happens to be curating sisterhood. And if you take these steps, first of all, recognizing that it's a self-care practice that's deep honoring, coming into recognition of what makes you the amazing and beautiful woman that you are, and then allowing yourself to brag and celebrate that. And then shifting from comparison to true celebration of other women, you're going to get why sisterhood is such a powerful tool for building a successful personal life and business. And what's happened in Challenge Pass is that we've seen women become best friends. I'm talking women who met each other online in the holiday challenge and ended up being in each other's bridesmaids panel or in the birthing room of their first babies. And I've met some of my best friends online. So I encourage you to really be vulnerable, open up, and enjoy this first day's challenge. This is one of our longer podcasts. Tomorrow, you're going to be introduced to a new celebrity mentor and a new challenge. So enjoy this one today and make sure to carry this core skill and this recognition of putting yourself first throughout the whole challenge. That's really what these rituals and this invitation is all about. I cannot wait to see how this goes for you and for you to experience this ritual with women from around the world. And I will see you tomorrow with a brand new mentor and your brand new challenge. And I'll meet you on Instagram and Facebook to celebrate what comes through today. All right.